morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are at. I am Bella. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really fun video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. I love tier ranking videos. Like, they are just so much fun. I could watch them for hours, and I think it'd be fun to start a little tier ranking series on my channel. At the beginning of this year, I did a tier ranking of all of my 2023 reads, and I will obviously do that again this year, but I thought that we could do more in between throughout the year. So today I thought we could do a tier ranking of all of Sarah J. Maas books. I love seeing what people rank all of her books, and I'm a huge fan of all of them. So I think it'll be fun to try to figure out where I will even place them because I just love them all so much. My categories are as follows. At the very top, we have absolutely changed the course of my life. These are the books that altered my brain chemistry, that were life altering, that I will never be the same, that I will most likely get a tattoo for, all of those things. Next one down is Has Me in a Chokehold. These books are so freaking good. Are they bury me with them when I die type level? Maybe not. They might not have hit that mark. So they're just one tier below. Smack dab in the middle, we have The Middle Guard Worm. I thought that was really funny. Saying it out loud makes it a little less funny. This is just like our middle tier. So these are the ones that I thought were really good. I really liked them, and that's where they're at. I have a feeling not many are gonna be any lower than that, but just in case, we have Not My Fave, but It's Essential. So these are books that, like, they weren't like my favorite by any means. Were they good? Probably, but they weren't my favorites, but they are essential to the story. I do recommend reading them still. And then lastly, we have The Prison. These are books that I don't like. I don't know if any of these are gonna hit that category, but it's there. I put it there, and that's all that matters. I've got some notes on my phone about each book, and I think we're just gonna jump right on into this. I've got my Chick-fil-A Sprite, busting. Hi, handsome. Oh God, I gotta take a picture of him so that you can see how he's sitting right now. I think all we can do is just begin. Why am I nervous? I think I'm just gonna do this in the order that I read them and that I think most people read them. So that means starting off with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I rated ACOTAR 3 stars, and I actually really liked it. I know a lot of people don't tend to like the first one too much. Like, they enjoy it, but they're like, it's all right. Which in the grand scheme of the series is so true, but I actually really enjoyed it. I really liked their romance in that book. I wasn't like obsessed with them, but I was like, oh my God, cute, like, yay, they get a happy ending, so nice. And I really loved Feyre. I loved her character, and like the trials under the mountain that she had to endure. I thought it was just like such a fun concept, and so I was immediately pretty obsessed with the series and was ready to continue reading it. I think I'm just gonna put it, oh, this is hard. Okay, maybe I'm gonna put it in Not My Fave, but It's Essential. I don't know, I just think in the grand scheme of things, it's not like the best out of all of them. It's not like it should go in the prison category, so we're gonna put it in Not My Fave, but It's Essential. Next is A Court of Mist and Fury. Guys, I rated this 5 stars, as most do. If you've read it, you know, like, you get it. The slow burn, the enemies to lovers. The ending of this book had me gagged, jaw on the floor. I was not well. I immediately picked up the next book because I could not handle not knowing what was gonna happen. Found family, oh my God. A found family trope will do it for me every time. If there's a found family trope in a book, it is most likely a 5 star for me. It'll just warm my heart every single time. So freaking good. Rhysand, I love him. I just love him. In chapter 55, oh, I'm gonna honestly have to put this at absolutely change the course of my life, because this book, looking at my life now where it's at, grand scheme of things, I feel like now, looking at A Court of Mist and Fury, it seems a little juvenile in comparison to like Throne of Glass, Crescent City. But like, A Court of Mist and Fury is such a well done book that it just has to go up there. Like, when I read this, I was on the floor, and I think that speaks for something. So we have A Court of Winks and Ruin. I rated ACOTAR 5 stars. Guys, it was phenomenal. Let's be honest. Hella emotional damage for sure. I was not well reading this book. I have so many pictures of me crying reading this book. I love that this book picked up with the like actual fantasy war politics aspect of their world. I think it was well needed because it's so romantic-y that I was like, give me the fantasy part of the romantic, please. There was just so many great moments in this freaking book. All I'm gonna say is hi lady. There are so many parts of this book that are so good that have to do with the 2 words hi lady. Guys, it was just so good. So I think I'm gonna put this in Has Me in a Chokehold, because this book was actually insane. Okay, we have the wonderful A Court of Frost and Starlight. I rated this 3 stars. It was the most cozy, cute novella ever. Are you kidding me? And it was so Christmassy. It's technically Christmas time right now. I loved it. I thought it was so cute. I loved the different POVs, but I will say, it's really hard to rate novellas super high. There's never usually too much plot. There's never really a lot going on, but like, if you care about the characters characters. It's just so fun, but I think I'm gonna put it in not my fave, but it's essential. Is it essential for the story? No, not really, but it was so cute. Then we have A Court of Silver Flames. Love A Court of Silver Flames. Rated this 4 stars. I just love Nesta so much. Do I love her more than Farah? Debatable, because Farah's our girl. I have just been her. I have been a Nesta. This book just got me, and I'm gonna have to put it in Has Me in a Chokehold because it was so freaking good, and I need to do a reread of just the whole series soon because fabulous. Alrighty, ACOTAR series. Checked off the list. Next, we're getting into Throne of Glass. This series as a whole did in fact change the trajectory of my life. It was so good, and I honestly sometimes still can't find the words to describe how much I love this series. First, we have Throne of Glass. I rated this 3.5 stars, and I kind of had the same feelings about it as I did with the first ACOTAR book, where I just knew it was gonna keep getting better, and I couldn't start it off really strong with a strong reading because I knew it was just gonna keep getting even better. It was so good. I loved the competition aspect and loved that like I didn't know where the series was gonna go from there. Like when I finished the book, I was like, okay, this competition stuff's over. What's going on now? Loved all of the characters. Obsessed with Selena. Are you kidding me? A female assassin. She's just fire. I just love her. She's fire. I'm sorry. Dorian and Kale. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Every single character in this freaking series is so good. I'm gonna put this in the middle category only because it does just keep going up from there. Next we have Crown of Midnight. I rated this 4 stars. So much happened in this freaking book, and I know I'm gonna say that about every single book, but truly so much happens in these freaking books. They're lengthy, so it makes sense, but I really liked that it revealed a lot about the world this series is in. In the first one, you don't get a lot of that, and so in the second one, you got a lot of clarification about stuff, and I was like, yes, I needed that. I was obsessed with the love triangle. I'm sorry. I do like a love triangle. Looking back at it after reading the whole series, it's crazy how much everything was significant and you had no idea yet. Same with Throne of Glass, but especially in Crown of Midnight, so much of it is so freaking important. It had really intense scenes in this book. Like a lot of like dark, intense stuff happens, and it was fabulous. I feel like I need more categories. I'm also gonna put this one in the middle just because, again, it does go up from here. Also, sorry, forgot to mention, the ending of Crown of Midnight, oh my goodness, it was actually insane. I would give anything to read these freaking books again for the first time. Next, we have Assassin's Blade. 4 stars, best prequel I've ever read. So freaking good. I did read it 3rd in the series. I know people have their qualms. Selena is just the most resilient FMC I have ever read or seen in like TV or film ever. Oh my gosh, she is just amazing. This book just was heartwarming, heartbreaking. It was everything. And might I just say, the details and the things in this book that are so important that you don't even realize are important, like Mrs. Moss. You ate. I'm gonna have to put Assassin's Blade and Has Me in a Chokehold because, guys, it was so freaking good. Next, we have Heir of Fire, which I rated 4.5 stars. This was the first book, not including the prequel, that I spilled hella tears. I cried so much during this book. You finally meet Aelin, and my heart just breaks for her through the whole series, but specifically in this book. It is so hard to read sometimes. She just deserves the whole world. Love Rowan, period. That's it. That's all I need to say. And I love the new POVs. It was such a surprise because I was like, who are all of these new people? You grow to love them all so much. Oh, I don't even know what to do. I'm gonna stick it in Has Me in a Chokehold because it does. Next, we have Queen of Shadows, which was the first 5-star in the series for me. It was so insanely fantastic. Oh my goodness. I was so incredibly invested in every single storyline, every character. To have a book that long with so many characters, with so many POVs, it's so hard to keep your reader's attention and keep them invested in each one. There's so many books where it changes POVs and you're like, oh, I can't wait to get to so-and-so's POV. I hate when this POV comes up. For me, that couldn't be far from the truth with this book. I love plot twists in this book and the whole series, but this book specifically had so many freaking plot twists. I was gagged the whole time. I was like, what is even going on? Manon. I'm just gonna say I secretly do still say Manon, but I'm saying Manon for the viewers. But I love her and just so many great characters. I am putting Queen of Shadows and Has Me in a Chokehold. I did rate it 5 stars, but it doesn't quite have that yet for me. I need to finish my reread because I think a lot of these might change with the second read. Alrighty, next we have Empire of Storms. 5 stars. I already know immediately that this is going up and to absolutely change the course of my life. It did. I'm sorry, but this book was actually insane. So much shit happened, like life altering things for these characters. I was just being pulled back and forth through all of these insane storylines and between these characters' POVs, and there was just so much happening. And the way this long ass book keeps you so invested, this book specifically just had such great storytelling. I could just visualize everything that was happening, and I could see the characters and I could hear them, and it was just phenomenal. The things that like come back from the past books to this book just sent it over the top. The connections, oh my gosh, so good. Next we have Tower of Dawn, which I did in fact rate 5 stars. Controversial, I know. I don't know what category to stick this in because I am obsessed with Kale's redemption story, and I know that that's controversial because a lot of people don't like this book, and that is more than fine. But this book was about healing your inner traumas and his guilt, and I just thought it was so freaking good. He deserved this arc. He deserved this arc so bad, and I was waiting for it because I've been a Kale stan since day one. Again, controversial. It's such an important overlooked book in this freaking series, and I'm sorry, it is going right to the tippy top. It was so good. I know people can disagree with me, but every character and relationship in this book was so well done, and I will not hear anyone out on it. Lastly, we have the one and only Kingdom of Ash, which I technically on Goodreads rated at 5 stars, but I think it's an infinity star rating. This book, again, going right up to the top, absolutely changed the trajectory of my life. No book I ever read will ever top this, I don't think. It's the way it wraps up the series is so well done. The range of emotions it made me feel, please. The way I was stressed, I was so happy, I was crying, I was laughing, I was on the floor rolling around in pain. Like, there was just so much going on. And Aelin, oh my god, my girl. That's my girl. Again, like I said, she deserves everything. She deserves the whole world. She deserves anything she wants. To me, she is perfect. And I love her. She made the series what it is. Like, she is the FMC of all FMCs. I could talk about Kingdom of Ash quite literally forever. So now we're getting into the Crescent City series. First off, Crescent City 1, House of Earth and Blood. Really loved this. First of all, I rated it 5 stars. I didn't think I would be into urban fantasy. I didn't think I would. I was like, wait, they send emails and have phones? That's weird. But like, why does it work? I feel like this book just had me feeling all sorts of emotions. I loved it. Like, it was so funny. There was all sorts of twists and turns. There was like really sad moments that I still think about to this day. I love Bryce and I love Hunt. They're my favorites. Like, I just freaking love them. And I'm sorry, curvy girl representation as an FMC, a powerful FMC? Yes. Yes. Like, I love that. Are you kidding? And there were just so many great characters. One thing that so many people dislike is the world building and exposition, and I truly just did not mind it. If you watch my video about reading 1-star reviews of books that I love, I read so many reviews from this book saying that like they DNF'd on page 1, but then rated it 1 star because it was exposition. God forbid the fantasy explain what's going on. I did not mind it one bit, and I think it was helpful to tell me what the heck was going on. I am putting this in Has Me in a Chokehold. Oh no, you know what? I lied. It's going up there. My friend Nikki is gonna be so excited because I just love this book, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that was fabulous. The rest of the series, however, next we have Crescent City 2, House of Sky and Breath. I rated this 4 stars, and the first half almost made me DNF, I'm gonna be honest. And I don't usually DNF books, but I was in the biggest reading slump reading this. But the second half was honestly worth it. The second half was kind of crazy. If you've read it, you know, you know. The second half was epic, action-packed greatness. Like, it was so good. The characters in this one, the connections. I know if you're watching this, you probably have read all of them, but I don't want to accidentally spoil something in case not, but the ending of this book was pretty crazy. So I'm gonna stick this one in not my fave, but it is essential. It is essential. You have to get through this first half of this book. The second half will redeem itself. There's some crazy shit that happens. So, but the first half was like hard for me, but that's okay. Lastly, we have the last book of the Mossiverse for now. For now. I need another one yesterday. Anyways, lastly we have Crescent City 3, House of Flame and Shadow. I rated this 4 stars. Definitely better than Sky and Breath. Definitely not as good as Earth and Blood. I bawled my eyes out at the end. I just loved the ending of this book, and I felt all the characters had a good concluded ending, because I feel like sometimes books with this many characters, there can be characters that are put on the back burner and you're like, well, what happened to them? Like, or like they get a shitty ending or whatever. So I really love that aspect, and there was just some like crazy freaking twists in this book and so many great characters, and I really liked it. But however, it doesn't reach chokehold status for me. I think it's just got to go in the middle with other books that I do love, but I think it's just got to stay there. That is the final lineup. Don't be mad. Sorry if you disagree, but that is my lineup right now. Nothing went into the prison. Yeah, I just don't think any of her books are that bad where I'm like, yeah, not even worth the read. This is my final lineup. I'm pretty happy with it, I think. Every book is just so phenomenal, and every story, every character is just top tier for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, all the things. Thank you so much for watching if you are still at this point, and I hope you have the best rest of your day. Mwah!